Hey guys, it's Ghosdee. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about The Fog. It's the Thursday where I talk about the film that starts with the word the. This week I got to look at John Carpenter's The Thing, which is actually one of my favorite films and one of the first horror films that I've ever watched. I was so scared when I saw this as a kid that I made my mom walk around the house with the Bible just so I could bless the house and keep the fog the fuck away from me. It was great revisiting this movie now that I'm a little bit more educated on John Carpenter's films, that I kind of understand his style. It made this watch enjoyable in ways that I didn't really expect. It opens with the spooky story. This old guy is telling the story to a group of kids. The story is basically about a group of seamen that died because of a fire. And that's basically what is told, and it also happened 100 years ago that night. We then get long ass opening credits. We're just going around the town and seeing what's happening. I'm assuming that this is a very small town, and we do learn from DJ Stevie that later that night will be the 100th anniversary of this town, which is also weird because 100 years ago a bunch of seamen died. Sounds fishy. At midnight there's a bunch of weird shit that's happening in this town. So in this time, resident of the town, Nick, picks up a hitchhiker, Elizabeth, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, because she's in fucking Halloween, and this movie actually was released a year after Halloween. He picks her up and they have like a cute little like conversation, banter, and then all of a sudden the fucking windows just blow out. They both don't react enough for me, but I'll allow it. That's just one of the many weird things that happen at midnight. The main weird thing that happened is there's a ship with 3 residents of the town and they are attacked by the fog. That was the first kill. It reminded me so much of either the first kill, and if not the first, definitely the first 2 kills in Halloween, where Michael Myers is suffocating the guy in the car. There's no blood, very clean, low budget kill. Later that night, Elizabeth the hitchhiker is already in bed with Nick, and the fog comes that night and starts knocking on the door. It seems like because this is the eve of the night that the incident happened, the fog is just coming to like fuck with bitches. They're like, all right, prepare, we're coming. It's like the pre-show. Meanwhile, Father Malone, the town priest, a piece of his wall just like flew off the fucking wall. It revealed his grandfather's diary. We don't know much about what he read in this scene, but later on we do find out what happened, and it basically revealed the truth behind this town, which I have a lot of shit to say. I'll get there. Next day, the DJ's son actually picks up a piece of driftwood from the shore, and it has Dane on it. The ship that the men that died 100 years ago were on was actually named Elizabeth Dane. That's fucking weird. DJ Stevie is weirded out by it, but doesn't really do anything about it, and that seems to be the general thing for everybody in this town. There's gossip about how weird things were at midnight. We have someone, I don't know her name, but I think she's the mayor. If she's not the mayor, she's definitely organizing the celebration that's happening that night and is on the board for something for this town. Secretary, treasurer, I don't know, but she does some shit for the town. She was talking about how her husband, somebody she has relations with, it might be platonic, might be her son, I missed it, how he never came home, and I'm pretty sure he was on the boat that the 3 seamen were killed. She was saying that like her dog was barking and there's some other weird things happening, and everybody was like, yeah, some weird shit did happen. They just don't think anything of it because they're too focused on the celebration of their town. The mayor lady, someone that's definitely doing something for this town, I don't know her fucking name. She meets with the priest to make sure that he's still giving his speech tonight, and the priest is like, oh god, we're fucked. He begins reading his diary entries to the mayor lady that may not actually be the mayor and her assistant. We learned that the men that died on the ship 100 years ago were actually killed by his grandfather and a few other men. They lured them with a false fire and killed them because they were worried that the main guy, Blake, he had leprosy, and they were worried that he was going to try to colonize their area, but he was also rich. So they killed him and took his fucking money and built the town. That's fucked up. That reminded me so much of America's history, especially did when Father Malone said we're honoring murderers in reference to the celebration that was happening that night. It's like, oh, about our founding fathers that found our town that literally murdered people and took that dude's money. It just reminded me of how Christopher Columbus is a holiday, how we teach that part of history, like Christopher Columbus just discovered this land and America was born. No, like he literally took this land from the natives. I'm not sure if that's what John Carpenter was going, but that did really resonate with me. Contributes to why I love this film so much. As a kid, the idea of the fog coming and killing people was scary, and the idea of them getting revenge on a town was scary, but now it's like they're getting revenge because their lives were taken over greed and selfishness. That's some shit right there. Despite Father Malone's concerns, the celebration is still on. There's some other odd occurrences happening in this time. Nick, that picked up the hitchhiker Elizabeth, he was at the dock waiting for one of the men that were on the ship that died. He was like, where the fuck are they? And they're like, I don't know. So he went to go seek out the ship, and he found it, and he also recovered a dead body. They take the body to the hospital. The doctor is like, yeah, this guy's definitely been underwater for more than 10 days. Nick is like, that can't be possible. He literally just went to sea yesterday. And then we get a little scare where the body actually comes up and scares Elizabeth. It's revealed that there's no one there, but we do see the number 3. The father, they're taking 6 lives because 6 of their lives were taken 100 years ago, which is another thing that I fucking loved about this movie when I was a kid, and still do. When I first watched it, I remember counting the deaths with my mom while we were watching the movie. Time goes on, and it's the start of the celebration. We had the mayor, not mayor lady talking, some other guy talking. Meanwhile, DJ Stevie is calling, I think, the weatherman, or he works in a lighthouse and maybe he's supposed to report something. I'm not really sure his job role, but he's really fucking creepy and I hate him, and I'm really excited to share with you that he does fucking die. She's checking in with him about the fog. The fog seems to be moving against the wind, which is fucking weird. He's like, oh baby, don't worry about it. Misogyny, misogyny, misogyny. He ends up getting fucking killed. Also, I love that the fog had this hook. DJ Stevie Wayne hears this over the phone. She's like, okay, there's something wrong with the fog. I don't remember if she calls home first or if she tries to reach out to the officer first, but she does make an announcement over the radio like, hey officer, get in contact with me, there's something wrong with the fog. She also calls home where her son is with the babysitter, and unfortunately the fog does get the babysitter, but the kid is saved because Nick and Elizabeth hear DJ Stevie over the radio, and they go and pick him up, and she's just like, the only safe place is the church, which is super convenient. I don't really know how I feel about that. I mean, it makes for a great final 20 minutes. Like, I love the last 20 minutes of this film so much, but I also just thought that it was weird. All the main characters that we've been introduced to in this film end up at the church. We have the mayor, not mayor lady, her assistant, Nick, Elizabeth, Father Malone, the son. DJ Stevie Wayne is still at her station. They get there and they're like, Father, what the fuck? He's drunk off his ass, and he tells the story about what the fuck happened. And the fog's really rolling in. The music is amazing, as always with any John Carpenter film, along with the sound design. John Carpenter is really good at that, and I love that he is a director that is so passionate about the music aspect. Just really nails it. Father Malone is basically like, yes, I'm going to sacrifice myself. He also grabbed a cross like made out of fucking solid gold. He's like battling the fog, like the fog's coming into him, and he takes it in there. It's like this light moment, and then the fog just stops. Over the radio, DJ Stevie Wayne is like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but some weird shit just happened. This curse that was on this town is kind of broken. Father Malone should have kept his fucking mouth shut, because he was like, wait, but they didn't kill 6 people. Blake, the fog ghost guy, was like, you said you want to die? So basically Blake rode up and striked the Father Malone in movie. I love the ending so much, and I didn't even realize that the ending of this movie, along with the story and the spookiness of the fog, it's why I love this movie so much. I'm also a sucker for films that are about towns that are plagued with evil or curses. I appreciate that mostly everyone survived, because at the end of the day, this town was cursed, and curses can be broken. It's also hella aesthetically pleasing, which obviously I fuck with that. So many great things about this. I gave it 5 stars on Letterboxd, and it's currently sitting at 3.5 stars. Thanks guys for watching this video. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up, and be sure to hit subscribe if you want to watch more of my videos. You can always hit the bell to be notified whenever I release new videos. You can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at DiscoLlama, Twitter at Ghosdee, and Letterboxd at Ghosdee. Thanks, I'll see you guys in the next video.